Hello, welcome back to Colonial Airstream. Today I'm going to give you a walkthrough video of the new 26 RBT Flying Cloud. RBT, what does that stand for? That's a rear bedroom twin. The exterior length is 26 foot 11 inches. That's from the center of the ball to the very back bumper. The exterior width is 8 foot 5.5 inches. The interior width is 8 foot 1. And the exterior height with the air conditioning is 9 foot 9 inches, so it's under 10 foot. The interior height with air conditioner is 6 foot 7.5 inches. So that's to the bottom of the ductwork on the air conditioning at 6 foot 7.5 inches. It also comes in a queen, which will be an RBQ, rear bedroom queen. Previously, in previous model years, this was called a 26U. And that was meant for the U-shaped dinette. Well, that's still here. The floor plan name changed slightly. This trailer is 7,600 pounds gross vehicle weight rating, has a hitch weight of 903, and the dry weight before options and cargo is just under 6,000 pounds. So most SUVs or pickup trucks, that would be full-size SUVs and full-size pickup trucks can pull it. But let's go inside and we'll take a look around. This floor plan is available exclusively on the Flying Cloud series, and the choices you have are different fabric colors. Let me just hang my coat up here in the coat rack, which happens to be a place where you can also store the tables. When you're not using the tables, if you decide to remove them, actually both of them will go in the closet here and the table legs will go off to the side. We're inside the truffle interior decor, so it's a dark Ultra Fabrics dwell material. A lot of people think it's cloth, but it's a lot more durable than cloth would be, and it's not glossy like the regular ultra leather that we have on the international models. But truffle's a darker color. We have a lighter color called sandpiper, which would be similar to the color of the back of the pillow here. And there's another color called wild honey, which would be very similar to the color of the landmark cabinet. So these are your three choices. When you get a truffle, you give you a light color countertop, and when you get the wild honey or sandpiper, actually a little bit darker countertop. So those are your combinations. The MSRP of this trailer, we'll come around to the window sticker here on the door, is $92,934. And the options this one has is the window awning package. So I highly recommend that package. There's a window awning that goes the whole entire road side of the trailer and a rear window awning for the rear window. And don't forget, it comes standard with a manual patio awning with sunburn material, and it's a gray color. So that option's here. That is $1,350. The 3-burner cooktop with convection microwave is another option. So it does come with a standard 3-burner cooktop with gas oven and a slide-out pantry microwave. But a lot of folks may not utilize a gas oven, or they don't want to slide the microwave out into the hallway when they're using it. The convection microwave is a good upgrade. So that only adds $475 to the cost. Backup camera, there's a wireless backup camera with a 5-inch display. It goes into your vehicle, plugs into the 12-volt socket, and all you have to do is turn on the parking lights on the tow vehicle, activates the camera that's already mounted on the back of the trailer. That option costs $675, and this has the complete solar charging system. I have 160 watts, 280 watt panels. They're slimline panels. You get a solar controller, solar display, and the batteries are upgraded to absorb glass mat. Those are 12-volt Group 24 series batteries in parallel. It's a complete package at $2,200. So destination's always $1,334, and MSRP is $92,934. The convection microwave that I spoke about in the option replaces a gas oven that's here. And then the pantry, slide-out pantry, becomes taller. Standard, there would be this portion down would be your slide-out pantry, and the top portion would be the microwave. When you pull it out into the hallway, you got to leave the microwave out in order to use it. You can't get by, and if you're not parked level, it will close. So some people have been upgrading and removing the gas oven and putting a convection microwave in its place, which gives you a larger pantry. The solar package I spoke about has a display here in the Galley, which will tell you what your battery percentage remaining is, your battery voltage, solar charge amps, and solar amp hours, and your charging status. And then the window awning, you can see it from inside here over the whole entire side. It goes from this cap to the rear cap of the trailer, and there's also one in the back, is one of the factory options. One of the key features to this trailer, why it's so successful, and how did we even get here? Well, Airstream polled owners and potential buyers of Airstream travel trailers to see what they wanted in the next Airstream. And one of the biggest things that they found out was that people liked an all-in-one bathroom. So not a wet bath, but an all-in-one bathroom. So that just means the toilet and the shower are behind one door. A lot of our floor plans, the 25 FB, 25 rear bedroom, the 27 front bedroom, the 28 rear bedroom, the 30 rear bedroom, those all have split bathrooms. So if you're camping and you have teenage kids, they're going to want their privacy. And in order to do that, in order to accomplish that, you have to pull 2 privacy curtains across the hallway to gain privacy for them, and then you could go about your business. But if you wanted to get to the bedroom in the trailer, you would have to open one of those and walk by. So having an all-in-one bathroom, this whole section here is the toilet and shower. And the shower is about 30% larger than the other models I mentioned. So it does give you a little bit more elbow room, a little bit more ceiling height, because it's no longer in the curvature of the trailer. It actually comes out much further. But this dinette, this is what it's all about on this trailer. You have a good amount of space for 4 or 5 adults to sit around a table and play cards. If you have grown children, Mom, Dad, and the kids could actually sit at the dinette. Everybody could sit together and eat breakfast or dinner. And it goes to give you some options. Now, this table comes all apart, and the legs come out, and the tables lay on these rails here, and the 2 backrests squeeze together in the middle, and it gives you a 92-inch long bed by 62 inches wide. So it's a little bit bigger than a queen-size bed and a lot longer than a queen-size bed. So 2 adults could sleep here, and you could have 2 adults in the back, or on the twin bed model, you could put the kids in the twin beds. Mom and Dad could sleep here. But another great thing about this bed is if you just remove one side of it, now you have a 29-inch wide by 62-inch long twin bed. So if you have smaller kids that are under 5 foot tall, you could actually sleep one here and one here, and you could leave the dinette table up. So it does give you advantage that you get 2 little twin beds here. And a lot of people ask, and maybe not a lot of people understand, what this extra cushion is for. I'll get to that in a second here. Let me put this back in. So you have smaller kids. If you look at the distance between this backrest and the table, there's a fair amount of room. So me as an adult, I'm sitting here, you know, I can lean back and I have plenty of room. But if you have a child, there's no backrest for them. So you could use a pillow, but Airstream puts this bolster in. And you can put that behind the cushion, and it brings that out. You could use it here, here, or there. You could use it in either 3 spots. So it's a pretty beneficial piece. You could also, as an adult, if you have back pain, you can just set it up here and you can lean up against it. Underneath the dinette, there's boot storage here. So when you come in, you got your dirty boots. There's a little plastic tray. You can put your boots on, slide them underneath this dinette booth. And this is all plywood with laminate. So there's no particle board, there's no sticker wrap in any of the construction. It's high quality plywood, pocket hole screws at all the joints, laminate. So it's very, very stable material. Low VOC for all the glues that Airstream uses. There's a USB port that runs off a 12 volt. You have an inverter outlet here. There's also an inverter outlet on the other side and another USB charge port. The inverter is a 1000 watt pure sine wave inverter. What you do is when you're not plugged into electricity, if you need a little electricity for a laptop, computer, or television, you turn on the inverter switch, you wait about 30 seconds. Now these outlets will be powered, and then you could run a small electronic device off your battery system. This system inverts DC into AC so you could run those items. And then when you're done, you shut down the system. You can't run a toaster, a hairdryer, or a convection microwave in it, but it's for small electronic devices. Very convenient. And these outlets are also regular electrical outlets when you're plugged into electricity at a campground. And then your GFCI reset is on that side for the whole circuit. So your kitchen, your bathroom, your outside outlet are all in GFCI breakers, and that's your main reset for those. The furnace is located on this side. You get some intakes and ducts there. It's a 25,000 BTU forced head air propane furnace. The corner, if you take this whole back cushion out, the corner has bulk storage, so you can put tools in there, you can put bottled water. There's little lids that lift up, and there's another lid that lifts up in the center for a small device. Overhead roof locker houses your DVD Blu-ray player. There's an input here, USB, so you could plug electronic devices into the Blu-ray player, play movies through both televisions that are standard. And there is a USB charge port here in the cabinet as well. And then there's another USB that's hooked up to the stereo system if you wanted to play some music through the stereo. The stereo has a CD player built into it and also is Bluetooth, so you could sync your phone with it. You could answer telephone calls using a remote control. There's a little microphone up top here, or you could Bluetooth audio through the system. And the Blu-ray player is also hooked into that inverter circuit as well, so you could utilize the inverter for that. All the lighting in the trailer is LED. There's directional reading lights over the dinette with switches on them, and then there's a spotlight over this chair you could turn on and off manually. The rest of the lights are controlled by a ceiling light switch here by the entry door, and they're dimmable lights as well. So your main ceiling lights, bedroom and galley, are dimmable. And then the awning has an LED light strip going the whole entire length of the awning on the body side that illuminates and glows underneath your awning at night. Gives you a nice light effect without being too bright. But you could also dim it down and adjust it to your liking. And then there's a step light and a porch light outside as well. And you can control that all from here. The battery disconnect by the entry door. If you're not plugged into electricity and you want to turn the battery system on, you just turn it to use, and that will turn the batteries on, allow you to run any 12-volt item or your inverter system off of that. Now keep in mind, everything in this trailer run off of battery or propane except for your convection microwave and your air conditioning. You would have to be plugged into electricity or a generator in order to use those two. When you're all done and you're going to put it back in storage and you're not sure, you might have left something on somewhere in the trailer, you could hit the store button and that will shut the whole entire battery system down. It is recommended to shut each item off individually, but if you forgot something, you could hit the store. But very important to turn it to use or flip it to use whenever you plug it into your trailer, your tow vehicle. Your alternator could charge the batteries when you're going down the highway as long as this is turned on. And when you're plugged into electricity at a campground, if you have this on use, your trailer will then charge off the battery converter charger. And that's a multi-stage battery converter charger. It's a new update and improvement for the 2018 model year that this trailer has. This is a 30 amp trailer because we have one air conditioner. There is a factory option for a second air conditioner, and that would go down the hallway in the bedroom. And it would replace the fantastic fan that's already there, so it would go in that spot. That upgrades the trailer service from 30 to 50 amp, but it does delete the generator prep port at the front of the trailer. So there's a nice convenient port where you can plug your power cord into the front of the trailer. So if you have a bed mounted, pickup truck mounted generator, you can plug the trailer right into that instead of running it all the way to the back. Now, if you do get the 50 amp upgrade with the second air conditioner, you can still plug a generator into the trailer. You just have to do it at your main power connection at the 50 amp using your step adapter to 50 to 30 adapter. There's a fire extinguisher by the entry door. They inset this into the cabinet. Back to this coat system, there's 4 hooks on the top. And these straps keep the table nice and tight when you're towing if you didn't leave them up and hook them together. And then this portion here is where the table legs go. 26-inch Samsung television has a release that allows the TV to pull out and get centered. You could even spin it around. If you're outside, you could view it. while you're underneath the awning. And this is also plugged into an inverter outlet, and there's an antenna booster off to the side. So this trailer has park cable. When you go to a campground, you hook right into their cable and take whatever the reception is into the trailer. You could bring the box that they might give you or lend you and hook it in next to each one of the televisions. Or there's an omnidirectional antenna on the roof of this trailer already. There's a little booster button off to the side of the television that you can push in, and a little green light will come on. That will boost the signal up of an over-air signal so you can get better reception. And here at our dealership, we pull from New York City and Philadelphia, and I could get anywhere from 7 to 10 channels, and that would vary depending on where you are in the country. But it's crystal clear, high-def reception. Very important not to leave this button pushed in when you're not using the antenna, because it will distort your cable if you do hook into park cable at a campground, and it will drain your battery pretty rapidly. So keep in mind to shut that off. It's very important to lock the TV back before you tow the trailer. You want that swinging around. The windows on the trailer, there's many of them that open. You got 3 in the bedroom and 3 up front here. You pull the handles, twist, and lift. And there's 3 different heights you can snap them into. And it's very important to use both hands and to make sure both are snapped in and not to twist the window, because you could break it. And don't drop it. Make sure you bring it down nice and slow. And very important to clamp it down before you tow the trailer. Ocean Air roller shades, you could hook it under the handles here. You could bring it all the way down and hook it in to where it fastens to close the window completely. There's a Vista View shade here. For Vista View, one on each side of the trailer. The curtains have blackout lining on the back of them. Gives you a lot of privacy and keeps out a lot of the light and heat. And this is a 4-piece curtain system, so I have the middle piece here pillared up. And this has premium foam in the cushions, so it's very comfortable to sit on. It's not going to mat down. You should get many, many years of use out of the foam inside these cushions here. And the table is adjustable, so if you were to buy this trailer and you wanted the table at a lower setting, we could adjust it. We could actually drill out the rivet, cut the leg shorter, revert it back in to get you to where your desired height is. And if you didn't want both tables in, you could unclamp them. There's a clamp on either side, and you could pull one of them out. And you step on the black button here on the floor, and that spins out. And you could use just one table. And then you could set it up like a chaise and watch TV and have your drink here, some popcorn. So a very flexible floor plan. I really enjoy this trailer and what Airstream has done with it. Deep stainless steel queen sink here, thick gauge, very durable residential style. This is a Moen faucet in chrome, has a separate sprayer off to the side. There's a stacked porthole window with Ocean Air roller shade. There's a light over the sink, so if you wanted to make it brighter than your normal ceiling lights, you have some task lighting. Cover, you could use a cutting board if you desired to. And I wouldn't recommend leaving this up here when you're towing. You don't want it to come out and go through the front window. So you could tuck it underneath the cushion. Premium hardware for all your cabinets. Has a heavy 10-pound J-latch on this trailer. There's a trash pail that is included. And I even route out this section of the plywood to allow a lip so this doesn't move around. There's more storage below. Then you have full extension drawers here. Now look, the bottom one's a little bit shorter because there's some furnace ducts that run behind it, but the other ones come out much further. And there's also a silverware organizer that comes with it. It's made out of wood. Really nice touch. Plenty of counter space for prep work. There's an electrical outlet here. We talked about the solar controller. The inverter I mentioned earlier, this is how you turn it on and off. and you can turn on your water pump from here. There's a little green LED light that will light up to let you know the pump is on, and it's a demand pump. So we'll pump the system up to pressure first, and then it shuts off. And once it feels a drop in pressure, the pump will kick on. And when you're hooked up to a campground's water pressure at your city water connection, it bypasses your freshwater tank, bypasses your pump, so you don't even need that on. You'll have the campground's water pressure coming out of each one of your faucets. But you can also monitor how much battery voltage you have, how much fresh water you would have. That would be giving in a level and percentage. Your gray waste and your black waste will all be monitored from here. And when you think about waste, you have about 39 gallons of waste you could put in each one of the tanks. That's a lot. When you think about a Home Depot 5-gallon bucket, they have a lot more than that. So it's going to take a little bit for it to register up to the 10%. So we get a lot of calls. Well, I've been using my trailer for a few days and I don't see anything registering in the black tank. That's probably because you only used about this much. A 5-gallon bucket is about this tall. So it needs to get to about that 5-gallon mark in order for it to initially register. This has ducted air conditioning. It's a 15,000 BTU air conditioner with electric heat pump. This is your intakes here. The ducting in here reduces noise level and gives you even temperature without the trailer. But these are directional, and you could shut off, on and off each one of the registers. So if it got too warm out here or too cold, you could adjust the temperature based on where you want the air to flow to in the trailer. There's a smoke detector with a 9-volt battery. Fantastic fan with a motorized lid, variable speed control, has a thermostat built into it and a quick release screen. But you just tell it when you want it to open, you tell it to open lid, adjust your fan speed, adjust your temperature, and then if it rains, it will shut down automatically. And then it will open back up when the sensor dries out. You can manually open it if you decide to as well. And just keep in mind, nothing will happen here no matter what button you press until the fan speed's on 1, 2, or 3. If it's on 0, that shuts the power off to the whole fan system. There's a propane leak detector down here by the floor. And look at this beautiful vinyl floor. This is a very durable floor. You know, some people glance at it, it actually looks like a carpet. This is vinyl. It's one sheet. It goes edge to edge of the trailer on top of 5/8 inch tongue and groove plywood floor. Very stable floor structure, doesn't flex a lot, doesn't squeak. And then the whole outside perimeter of the trailer floor is painted with an anti-wicking substance. So that would be if your entry door is left open on a rainy day and you got a little bit of water on top of the vinyl floor and it rolled underneath, it wouldn't soak it through the whole entire floor. And that anti-wicking is great as long as it's not prolonged exposure to water. That's going to protect you. The corner here is an aluminum trim. So when you come around the corner, you bump in, you're not going to have to worry about chipping laminate. It's a very durable extruded aluminum. Your comfort control center, this will do everything with heating or air conditioning. You could control the mode, which would be your heat pump. You could change the fan speed from low, medium, high, or auto. You could set the clock, set a program, temperature setting. You could change it from Fahrenheit to Celsius, and you could also see what your inside temperature is, which is 73 degrees. And if you keep toggling through the modes, you'll see furnace, fan only in the air conditioner, all systems off, and the air conditioner. And on automatic mode, what's going to happen is you set your temperature, and if you have an automatic fan, the blower motor will kick on and off periodically to get you your desired temperature. If you just want that white noise all night long, you could just set on low, medium, or high, and the compressor will kick on and off when necessary, but the blower will remain running. And you can also set it on an automatic mode for heat pump or air conditioning. So if you put that setting on, you just set your temperature. During the day, if it needs air conditioning, it's going to turn on your air conditioning. At night, if it needs heat, it's going to turn on your heat pump. And your heat pump will only work when it's about 45 degrees out or warmer. If it's colder than that, the system's pretty smart. It's going to know to kick on your furnace for you. The furnace, you just need to make sure you have propane in your bottles and the propane system's on. 3-burner cooktop. These are all sealed burners. If you spill here, it fills up a pan. It doesn't spill underneath. You just select which burner you would like on, and you hit the spark button, and it gives a spark ignition to each one of the burners, and Only the one that you have turned on is the one that's going to light up. Little towel bar here on the front, heavy duty grates for larger pans, and then the cover, you lift up on it and pull forward. And if it's still hot, you can protect yourself here, but you could also use this for other prep space. There's a fan with a ventilation system on the outside that you have to open manually once you get parked at the campground, and then an LED light above. Good amount of storage above the galley here. These are high quality spring tension lift arms that give you assist for closing and pressure to keep it closed, and assist for opening, but you could adjust these if you wanted to change the tension up. And this is plywood with laminate as well. Above the pantry, you could see some more pantry storage. This is a really deep one. It goes back pretty far, and it's all pocket hole screw construction, so there's no pegs that the shelf here rests on that you have to worry about coming apart. It's all pocket hole screwed in place. Down below, this is your battery converter charger. This converts AC to DC, charges your battery, houses your breakers, just like an electrical panel at home. Has another GFCI reset in here. And then everything's labeled, as well as your 12-volt fuses for your stereo, your fans, your water pump. Anything that runs on 12-volt is in this compartment here. And it's a very smart system, because if a fuse was to blow, there would be a little red LED light next to that fuse to indicate that that fuse is either out or blown. The bottom portion is the battery charger, so you're going to hear a fan kick on periodically to cool this compartment down when you're charging. And there's another furnace duct here off the side. Below the refrigerator, there's a storage compartment. Behind that is your wheel well. There's a 7 cubic foot automatic two-way refrigerator. All the controls are inside. You can see your temperature. You could change it from LP to electric, or put it on automatic and it will automatically run electric when you're plugged into electricity. And if you lost electricity, it's automatically going to switch to propane. And the way this would work best is if you turn it on the day before you go on your trip. It takes about 7 hours to completely remove all the heat out of the refrigerator, get it down to a refrigerator temperature, load it up with all your food, get it cool again, and then before you hit the road, shut it off, shut your propane off, drive. You got about 6 to 8 hours of driving time before this temperature in this refrigerator could get at a dangerous level for your food. And then built into the refrigerator and freezer, these little dividers, but it has another purpose. If you slip it over the handle, it becomes an airing card. When you're done with your trip, the refrigerator is going to be very damp. Well, you don't want to just leave the doors shut, because when you come back to the trailer, you're going to see a lot of mold inside. So it's very important to air them out. A lot of people use towels and all different things to keep the doors open. The airing card's already built in. I would recommend utilizing those. There's a skylight in the bath area with shade, so it really shades down this area. It's got an interior thin layer, that's your thermal break. The exterior dome is very, very thick and robust. So a lot of people think, wow, this is so flimsy. This is just your interior thermal break. Let's keep that in mind. There's a privacy curtain in the hallway that comes across and clips in. So if you want to separate the bedroom from the rest of the trailer, you could do so. In the wardrobe, there's a light and a mirror, and the wardrobe rod has little notches in it so your clothes hangers don't slide back and forth, and another premium J-latch. And the corner here, this is all solid oak on the corner of this cabinet, so it's very, very stable material. Pocket hole screwed, nailed in place. You don't see staples at the Airstream factory, or a lot of plastic clips like you see in other manufacturers. Everything's built in a very robust manner. People buy Airstream travel trailers, and the word travel trailer means you could travel anywhere you want in this country, mostly any terrain, and the trailer is going to withstand that abuse. A lot of the manufacturers, they build what they call a camping trailer, made for a little bit lighter duty use, smaller trips, not long term. So the difference with an Airstream travel trailer, it's going to be a lot more expensive because it's built in a more robust manner for a higher duty cycle. You could be in this trailer a long time, and these things have to hold up. And then that's what Airstream's all about. When you get the twin bed model, which we're in now, these mattresses are about 32 to 34 inches wide by 80 inches long. And it's a curved edge here at the front of the bed, but it's a very large sleeping surface for each person. And the twin beds represent about half of our production today. That's a pretty high number. 15 years ago when I first started this, we'd sell maybe about 2% twin. Now we're at 50%. When you get to queen bed, it's a very good floor plan. The wardrobe is actually double the size, and the bed goes across the back, and you can walk around. And then when you get to the front, you got to duck under the cabinet, and the wall curves in a little bit, so there's not a lot of floor space. A very open floor plan. The twin really opens up a lot more, because now you can walk down the aisle all the way to the end. Your eye sees the end. Your eye doesn't stop at the bed like it does at the queen. But then it gains you access to all your storage. And to make up for half the wardrobe that you lose, you get a little shirt closet here. And then the other queen bed would lift up and you could gain access to all the storage. Well, this still has access. The bed just doesn't lift up. And on this side, they're a lot deeper, and it comes with plastic bins. And in this plastic bin has the welcome mat, the TV stands, electrical outlet tester, all the remote controls, the detachable face for the stereo, the optional Voyager wireless backup camera monitor. The camera's already installed. And then your manual, your electric hitch jack has a manual override if you needed to do that. And then a propane quick release port at the front of the trailer, right by the A-frame. You can hook this propane line right in, and you can use a low pressure grill. Key is low pressure grill. Can't use a grill that requires high pressure. If you have a high pressure grill, you're not going to use this. You're just going to hook the grill right up to one of your propane tanks. Some of the other storage you get is you get 2 more exterior storage compartments. Well, half of the bed, the other side, is your outside exterior storage, and that is available exclusively on the twins. So each side would have that. On the queen, it would have one smaller one at the head of the bed, but a lot deeper. You get a little nightstand. I happen to have the owner's bag in the nightstand here. And there's plenty of surface here. Each side has a USB charge port on it, and then the box that it sits on, that is your rear trunk compartment. So there's a total of 4 trunks in this trailer. 1, 2, 3, and the front part of the U-shaped dinette is an outside storage trunk. So you have lots of different places to put exterior storage. Both floor plans are going to have your overhead roof locker in the rear. The rear window is always going to be your emergency exit, so it operates just like the little window in the galley area, except it has red handles, and you pull, twist, lift, and then you release the screen here, the insect screen. It's a sacrificial release. And that would be only emergency, and after the fact, you'd have to bring it back to an Airstream dealer to get repaired. The directional reading light, 2 speakers here. The stereo that we saw up front has 2 speakers up there for it, and a subwoofer too. So there's a total of 5 speakers for the stereo system. Then what you could do is you could sync the stereo with the television, and if you're watching TV, you could broadcast that sound through the whole entire sound system of the trailer instead of just the TV speakers. That's your choice. That's something you could do. Another fantastic fan operates the same way as it did in the galley. And then on the curbside twin bed, there's another roof locker that you don't get on the queen because you'd be walking around the bed here. And then they give you a little storage cubby here with some hooks. The queen bed model will have a 45-degree angle, I would say like a dresser style in the corner. This has really deep drawers. This will be good for socks and underwear. Another storage compartment opens on the bottom that goes back pretty deep to about, I'd say about 16 inches. You got a magazine rack, and then there's this hidden compartment here off to the side that you might be able to utilize as some type of safe. This area here is pretty disguised. You could hide some bulk items in there if you needed to. That's where I would hide some of my camera equipment. This television's on an articulating arm, so you can swing it out. It's all done through HDMI and a regular coax cable for communication, and it's hooked up to the inverter that we have on board. So there's many outlets that you can utilize the inverter. Not every single outlet in the trailer, but many of them you could utilize off the inverter system. The LED lights in the bedroom are dimmable. Another extruded aluminum corner for this bathroom area. And then the bathroom. We talked about it in the beginning. Well, let's get in here now. Shower, which is about 30% larger, it comes out to this more center point of the trailer, the highest point. It's all fiberglass, two-piece construction with a very heavy overlap here, so we'll have to worry about water rolling behind. A lot of elbow room, plenty of height. I'm 5'9". I cleared this light here, but there's another about 2.5 to 3 inches total of height. If you're a little bit taller than 6 foot, you're gonna have to duck a little bit. There's a little seat here off to the side. It's boxed over the wheel well. Clothesline pulls across. Once you get it hooked in, you can lock it in place, and you can hang light items from this to dry them out. I wouldn't recommend heavy items like a towel. And the shower wand comes detached from this wall. It's adjustable, has a pause feature built into it, and it has a residential style diverter here off to the side. And a lot of people don't understand this shower curtain. You know, we can't do a glass door for in-swing. There'll be nowhere where you could actually stand and swing the door out, so we have to do a rollaway door. But it's a very high quality door. We've been using it on the Bambi for many years. It rolls across, hooks in. When you're done, you pull out on it, it rolls back, and when it does, it squeegees all the water off of the shower door, rolls it down the drain, so you don't have to worry about mold or mildew. And we've been using this for many, many years. I've never had anybody break one before. We've had one in parts in stock for over 10 years now, and no one's ever bought it. There's a little mirror here off to the side, which you could adjust the angle, and there's 5-time magnification on it. A large ledge here over the window, so you could put a lot of items here. Ocean Air roller shade, Moen faucet, heavy duty stainless steel thick gauge sink, GFCI protected electrical outlet. Your light is on the ceiling here. Switch is down here. Too bright, you could turn one off, make it a little bit dimmer in here. And your shower light is based off of this switch here as well. The water heater is gas and electric. It's 9 gallons. What it does is it superheats water, but before that, it preheats it. So there's a 6-gallon reservoir, but it gives you 9 gallons continuous flow of hot water. So it preheats it, superheats it. When you turn on the tap, it's going to bring out the water at a pretty high temperature, about 135 degrees. You're probably going to mix it with a little bit of cold water, but if you didn't, you could run about 9 gallons straight. That's a good amount of water. That's plenty for most people. You decide whether you want an electric side or a gas side. If it's on the gas side, when you flip the switch up, you'll see a little red light flicker. Once the water heater ignites properly, the red light will shut off, and in about 15 minutes you'll have hot water. On the electric side, you just want to make sure the system has water on board. You'll have hot water in about 20 minutes. Another compartment here. One here over the wheel well. This has adjustable shelves. And another one here. Toilet paper holders under the cabinet. There's a towel bar here behind the toilet and a towel ring here next to the toilet. And this has a porcelain toilet. This is the Dometic electric flush. You could raise the water height in the bowl. You could flush it. It's got a little macerator. And then if you're in here, if the black tank becomes full, instead of coming out to the galley, this will indicate if you have a full black tank. And there's a furnace duct in this bathroom as well. All the tanks in this trailer are heated and enclosed. So as long as you have your furnace system on, the furnace ducts air into the trailer, and then it actually ducts heat down into your tank chamber. So the tank is dropped into an insulated chamber. There's a hole drilled in the floor of the trailer where the furnace duct runs down that hole into the chamber and circulates hot air around your tank. It gives you about a 7-degree boost in temperature inside the tank. So those are for those unexpected drops in temperatures. You're camping in the mountains, at night it gets below freezing. Well, as long as that furnace is on, you're protected. If you get prolonged temperatures below freezing night and day, you should seriously consider draining the water out of the system, keeping it in a winterized state. You can still sleep in the trailer, you can still cook in the trailer, you can still use everything else in the trailer, but you wouldn't have running water. Now, I have a lot of people that join national gyms, and they get a gym membership so they could go in the gym and shower when it's really cold. Or maybe they're traveling, they might check into a hotel for a week or two until the weather clears and gets a little bit warmer. Let's take a walk outside. I want to show you a few things on the exterior of the trailer, and I think you're going to like all the exterior storage you get on this one. Beautiful screen door with screen door guards, extruded aluminum, pieces here that have TIG welding on each corner, stainless steel hinge with 6 rivets, the cladding on the interior door. There's insulation between. This has Eco-Bat insulation on the whole entire shell of the trailer. It's way better than fiberglass insulation because it doesn't off-gas and it won't attract mold or mildew. Heavy duty lock and deadbolt, and beautiful noise when you slam that door. It's very solid. You can see here the extruded aluminum structure of the entry door. It's all TIG welded at all the joints. This is on an angle so any water could roll out. It's got some grip tape on it. There's an extruded aluminum 45-degree angle sweep out here, so if you're sweeping the trailer out with a broom, you can get it over the threshold here. Aluminum bifold entry step. You get away, and then when you want to get it down, just knock it down, or you could do the kick method. Get it down. This has the extruded aluminum belt line protection, extruded aluminum rub rail protection, Alcoa aluminum exterior finish. We recommend waxing it once a year. Keep road salt off of it. If you do get it on, get it off as soon as possible. Remember to power wash your underbelly. You want to wax it with the Walburnized wax. Get the bugs off the front. It's an outside GFCI protected electrical outlet. A catch for the door when you swing it around. This has the Goodyear Endurance 225/75 R15 Load Range D tires. This has the Never Adjust braking system and the Never Lube hubs. And it's a Dexter rubber torsion axle system. It's a Duraflex axle system. There's less moving parts. It gives you a much lower center of gravity. You don't have to worry about breaking shackles and bolts. It's very durable and literally keeps the trailer hugged to the road. There's some extruded aluminum wheel well molding here. That was the porch light we talked about inside. The sunbrella awning is metal wrapped. And there's a procedure to get it down. You've seen that in many of my videos before. You got a picture window here and a stacked bedroom window. Look at a beautiful flying cloud medallion here. And all the compartments are lockable. They're insulated and weather sealed. There's diamond plating down here on the floor, and each one of the compartments has an LED light that illuminates the area. And when you close the compartment door and you twist and push down, it actually squeezes it tight. And every compartment uses the same key. They're all keyed alike to lock it. This here is a stretch form piece of aluminum, so they actually have a form at the factory. They grab a long sheet of Alcoa aluminum and stretch it over the form, and they actually cut it in place and buck rivet it in place. Rear panoramic window is standard on this model. Beautiful cast aluminum LED taillights. Large rear trunk. This is a feature. That compartment and this compartment are available only when you get the twin beds, but this is really deep and goes the whole entire width of the trailer, so you have about 96 inches in the total width of this, so it's a large compartment. The rear bumper, pull up these releases, lift it up, and it's diamond plated, has holes drilled into it, allows water to drain out, but you can put wheel chocks, blocks of wood in here, anything that's going to have ground contact. Before, instead of putting it in your storage compartment here, you can put it right in your bumper. License plate bracket, with light rear window awning package. This is part of the package. You get the side and the rear, but this is what it looks like when it's rolled out. And this velcros up nice and neat when you want to tuck it away. To release it, just pull down, spin this all the way around, and let it roll up. It's all metal wrapped and protected. Have your wireless backup / driving camera you can leave on the whole entire time while you're driving. Polished rear bumper with bumper caps for protection when you pull your power cord around. You don't fray it or rip your pants. Stabilizer jacks, all 4 corners. There's a tool inside the rear compartment to crank down the jacks. Takes the bounce out of your walk. It's not meant to level the trailer. You can level the trailer using your electric hitch jack and leveling blocks underneath your tires. This is the same storage compartment you get when you have a queen bed, except to be a lot deeper. This is the power cord that comes with the trailer. This is just an old shop cord we use today. But it's a Marine Co cord. There is a twist lock, and you push it in and twist to lock it in place. There's outside park cable, and you could get a portable satellite dish and hook it into the trailer, and you bring your receiver and hook it inside the trailer. You have satellite TV. So there's 3 different ways. You have park cable, portable satellite dish you could use, or the standard antenna that comes with the trailer. There's the water heater compartment. There's really nothing to do outside except for to wash it out periodically. The drain plug, you remove that when you want to winterize it. And when you flip the switch on inside, the gas valve opens, allows gas to flow through, mix with combustible air, ignite, and excess heat and exhaust comes out the top. And there's a pressure relief valve that if the pressure inside the tank ever got too high, instead of exploding, a relief out here. I wouldn't recommend storing things in here. It is a combustible area. There's jack points, the 2 back corners of the trailer, so you can get your car jack from your tow vehicle, put it underneath the trailer. There's a sticker with an arrow that points to a plate that indicates that's exactly where you're going to jack up the trailer. This is your waste hose storage tube. You could fit a 10-foot hose with an extension on it inside this tube, as long as you take the elbows off. There's the side window for the window awning package. This just hooks on and it rolls up and locks in place. You can use your awning tool to lock it, or you can do it by hand. You can see over each one of the windows one of these extruded aluminum gutter rails, and they're all tinted safety glass, all buck riveted, each one of these window frames in place. A lot of beautiful craftsmanship goes into each and every one of the trailers. You can see the teardrop LED side marker lights. It has a refrigerator ventilation system, low and high. This has an insect screen on it. This is the drain for the refrigerator. Once you turn it off, any moisture that hits the pan will run out of this drain here. And this compartment is completely sealed from the elements, but I don't recommend hosing it out. Wipe it down with a cloth, and don't store things in here either. The air conditioner has a drip tube that comes down right here that allows condensation to drip through the tube instead of running down the side of the trailer. If you got the second air conditioner in the bedroom, there would be another one here off to the side. Don't forget to check your tire pressure. There's a tire pressure label right next to your VIN number, so depending on which brand and model tires you have, it will dictate your tire pressure and speed rating. In between the wheels here, there is a drain valve, a low point drain for your fresh water tank. And there's some other low point drains that we'd share with you in a formal orientation. Once you pick up your Airstream at our dealership, you have the option to spend the night after your orientation. But during the orientation, we're going to teach you everything you learned in this video in great detail, and also give you some pointers on winterization and maintenance. Also, remember to re-torque your lug nuts. If you ever remove the tire after 5, 10, 25, and 50 miles, it's also recommended to check your lug nut torque periodically before each trip. And the torque specification is going to be in your owner's manual. Your 39-gallon freshwater tank can be filled. You open up the compartment using your 751 key. Take the cap off, stick the hose in loose, turn the water on low, There's a little vent here that allows air to escape, and once it overflows, it will spit water out here. I never recommend turning on the hose full blast because you could expand the tank and not allow enough water out, and you could blow one of the fittings off. The city water connection, which bypasses your fresh water tank, because there's a check valve built into the water pump. When you take your white hose that Colonial gives you, the premium hose, you hook that on. And this has a water pressure regulator built into it. It regulates the water about 55 psi. So if you get unexpected spike in water pressure at the campground, you're not going to damage your trailer. But that will then supply water to all your faucets when you turn them on, instead of filling up your fresh water tank. Never get this confused with this. This is a separate device. This is a sewer flusher. After you empty your tanks, so you're going to take the cap off, you're going to stick on your waste hose, get that secure into the campground's connection. We give you a premium hose here at Colonial with a clear elbow. It's 10 foot and it comes with a rubber donut so you can securely mount it into the campground's connection. You're always going to empty your main tank, your black tank first. You're going to pull this handle all the way out. The waste will discharge out of this tube. When that's done discharging, you're going to close it, put the tethers on, and then open up your gray tank, which is labeled auxiliary wash, because that is now going to wash out your discharge tube, get rid of all that toilet paper and solids that might be stuck in there before you go to store it in your storage tube. There's even a light out here that illuminates this area at night. And to take it a step further, say you're all done with your camping trip. After you empty the black tank, leave the valve open, hook up a garden hose right up to this sewer valve connection. Don't use your white hose, use a separate garden hose. Under pressure inside the tank, there's a wand that will spray down the walls of the tank, and any of that residual waste is discharged out of the trailer. I recommend using this after you're done using the trailer, before you put it back in storage, to get rid of any of that residual waste. And then you can empty your gray after to clean out your waste hose. There's an outside utility shower with hot and cold water. 751 key. Pull this out, hang it on here. You got hot and cold water, and you can pause it once you get your temperature set. Don't forget to winterize this when you do the winterization procedure. This is the furnace discharge, so make sure you don't park it next to a pile of leaves. There is quite a bit of heat that comes out of here, and make sure your kids know not to touch this. And then the cooktop ventilation system we spoke about inside. There's two little tabs that you pull down and you lift up, and allow the discharge the excess heat and smoke while you're cooking. This says stainless steel wrap protectors. These are heavy duty rock guards that protect the aluminum body from rock dings. They're gapped from the bodies to allow some deflection, so if you hit some road debris, it deflects without denting the body behind. Because they're gapped, there's a hinge on this side, and there's 3 nuts you can remove here, and you can swing it out and clean leaves and debris out from behind. You could also do that with your solar stone guards. Take the tether, pull it, lift, spin the knurl knob to your desired height. This will now allow you to open up your entry window, your dining window, and then if you take a screwdriver and turn a quarter turn, the screws release here and allows this to swing out, and you can lift it off and you can clean leaves and debris out from behind your window here. Because this trailer has a single air conditioner with 30 amp, this has the generator prep remote in the front. So you can take that same power cord that you plug in the back, plug it in here, plug it right into the back of your truck if you have a generator there. This does go away if you get the second air conditioner. 2 5/16 inch ball Colonial Airstream gives you a premium hitch lock. You got 11,000 pound rated safety chains that you want to make sure you crisscross. You can twist them to take some of the slack out. Black high gloss frame paints, very easy to touch up with Rust-Oleum. This is your trailer breakaway cable. If the trailer ever comes detached from your tow vehicle, that will pull out and lock the brakes on the trailer. It's very important not to ever use this as a parking brake. Long term, your battery will die very quick, and when the battery dies, the trailers will come unlocked and your trailer will roll down the hill. The most common tech support call we get here is my trailer battery went dead overnight. I'm not sure what happened. Usually what happens, they pulled this out and left it out. Don't do that, leave that in there. electric hitch jack. You can extend the height, lower the height. You can turn on the light. There's a little bubble level on the top. You can manually crank it up and down if there's a hitch failure. And then the foot is adjustable and removable. Propane tanks here at Colonial always be full as part of the sale. We give you 2 full tanks. Each tank has a selector. You can move it from left to right to decide which bottle you want to run off of. And there's a sight gauge. Depending on which bottle you're pointed to, if that bottle is empty, it will turn red. It will go from green to red. And it does have an automatic switch over, so if you had both bottles on and one bottle went empty, it would automatically switch to the next bottle. And to get the bottles out, you remove the clamp, lift the bottle cover off, and take each bottle out separately and get them filled. Front storage compartment, lift, twist. This gains you access all the way underneath the dinette, and then there's a light here off to the side, insulated, weather sealed, lockable, just like the other compartments. There's 2 batteries in this box here. Colonial Airstream gives you a lock for it so no one steals your batteries. And then your ZAMP quick disconnect port for a portable solar panel is right here off to the side. And on the roof, the 2 panels, there's room for 2 more if you ever decided to expand at a later date. And there's another port on the quick disconnect on the roof as well. The VIN plate is here on the side of the battery box. There's a VIN sticker on the side of the trailer. There's a spare tire, a full-size spare tire on a steel wheel. Pull the pin out, slide this one across, drop it down, lift up your jack high enough you could pull the tire right out, and then again use the jack from your tow vehicle to jack up the trailer. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. New 2018 26 RBT Flying Clouds available at Colonial Airstream. Our website is colonialairstream.com. Our telephone number is 800-265-9019. You can always find me on Facebook. I'm Colonial Patrick. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe. I'd love it. I'll see you soon.